Let's talk about fishing in Sunshine Island. Hey guys, Alden here, back with another video and a brand new series called Let's Talk. And this is where I talk about specific ideas and features and things in the game Sunshine Island. So the plan with this series is to go over ideas and stuff, like I just said, to try and get down to the nitty gritty and see what can be improved upon, what the community likes, what they don't like, etc, etc. So today we're going to be talking in specific about fishing. Now fishing is a bit of a flop, I'll be honest. It's something I was really excited for, and it's something that I thought would really flip the game on its head and make it a little bit more intuitive, something you actually go in, you play it, you move the boat about, you catch the fish. But for me, it's just been a bit underwhelming. I've been a bit disappointed with it, to be honest, and from talking with the community, I'm definitely not alone. All my guild, most of the people I speak to, unfortunately are in the same boat, excuse the pun. They're kind of feeling the same way that I am, that fishing just isn't quite up to what it needs to be. But let's not put a dampener on the mood just yet, because fishing is a great feature that has lots of potential. I genuinely feel like this is something that could, if the developers put the effort in, be taken to the next level and be a really important feature in the game. Now I have loads of different ideas that we're going to talk about today, but before we jump into that, I want to talk about the stuff that's already in the game. So what makes fishing so disappointing right now in the game? Why is it not the hit that we were hoping it would be? Now for me, this is a really simple answer. There's no point. There's no incentive to actually go ahead and fish. So you would go in, typically you would have 5 lures sitting there. You would use these 5 lures within, say, 1 minute of fishing. You would just cast out your rod, reel in a fish, cast out your rod, reel in a fish 5 times. You would go and sell your fish, you would get sea silver, and that's it. That really is it, because the rewards are pretty poor. And we'll talk in a lot more detail about the rewards further into the video. But right now, the effort put in and the time put in for fishing and the rewards on the back end of it are just a bit pointless. And for the first kind of week or so probably of the fishing update, I did grind quite a lot. I did that really fun live stream where we tried to catch all 7 different species of the fish. I did lots of stuff like that, but genuinely since that first week I've hardly fished at all. Now I know I'm probably missing out on sea silver, which could be an important currency in the future, but as I just said, there's no incentive. I don't feel like I want to go ahead and fish, which isn't probably what the developers were going for. So let's talk about some of the stuff that I think could be improved upon. So one of the biggest things that does need to be addressed is lures, because yeah, it's just crazy. There is a 30-minute refresh time currently on each lure. So as soon as you use a lure and catch a fish, that is one of your lures used up. And then you have to wait 30 minutes, and that's just too long in my opinion. But this is something I definitely think could be reworked. And a really simple fix for this could be that if you catch a fish and you don't want that fish, if you release it, which there is an option to do in the game, you get that lure back. That is a really simple fix in my opinion, because it means you can keep fishing, going back and forward to try and get the fish that you actually want. Now of course this might make lures a bit pointless. You would only really need 1 lure, I guess, to try and catch the fish, or I don't know. It might actually break the mechanics of the game a little bit, because people could keep just throwing back commons until they get an uncommon or a rare or even an epic, which we now know are also in the game. So maybe if you release the fish, your next lure time would be reduced by half or something like that. Like there could be an incentive that if you do release the fish, your next lure is going to be, less time, something like that. But it is something I think could be a viable option to try and help with the lure situation, because yeah, 30 minutes for each lure means if you use up all 5, you're going to be waiting 2.5 hours just to get another 5, and 2.5 hours for 1 minute of fishing. Yeah, that doesn't sit right with me. Now, a really simple solution for this could also be exactly what they have in the marketplace. So you'll see I've mocked up on screen right here what potentially could be a refresh button for lures. If you go ahead and click this, you guys will see you're able to refresh it for 30 gems. It's 1 gem per minute, or you can go ahead and watch an ad. So exactly the same as what you would see over in the marketplace, where you're able to get this option when you refresh those orders. I think this is a really easy workaround. It's going to get people watching ads, which is going to give them revenue, or it's going to have people paying gems, which again is probably giving them revenue. So it's probably a good system for them, and it'll be a nice little system for us to potentially get a few more lures from watching some ads or spending a few gems. But lures, they do need to be addressed deeper than this, in my opinion, and an easy way to do that would be to add a section in the library specifically for fishing, and there could be an upgrade for lures in there. Now this is something I've got a whole feature on later on in the episode. I do have video chapters down below if you want to skip to that, but I would recommend watching the whole of this video because I've got lots of other interesting things to talk about. But yeah, my genuine thoughts and feelings on lures is, if we could get that maximum capacity up, you could probably leave the refresh at 30 minutes. If they don't want to increase the maximum capacity, then adding in that refresh option could be a really good solution for this. So moving on, I want to talk about the actual fish themselves. Now, right now in the game, there are 7 fish. There are 7 types of fish as of recording this video. And we know that there are 4 types of rarity. We have common, uncommon, rare, and epic. But the thing that puzzles me is, why don't we have those rarities for every single fish? Because right now in the game, let's take something like a sardine. We know a sardine can range from common to uncommon and up to rare, but right now in the game you cannot get an epic sardine. Whereas if we move to the flounder, the lowest rarity you can get for a flounder is uncommon, it then moves to rare, and the third one you can get is an epic. So the flounder is the only fish currently in the game that you can't catch the common version of, but you can catch the epic version of. So for me, I don't understand why this mechanic is in the game at all. They just need to add all 4 rarities for each type of fish. So if I wanted to, I could go in and I could try and catch a common flounder, an uncommon flounder, a rare flounder, and an epic flounder. I just think that makes sense. I don't understand why they would not let you catch specific rarity types. I for one do like to see statistics and stuff like that, so I think there needs to be a chart that shows you what the actual rarity values are, the percentage chance at catching each type of fish. So your chances of catching a common, of an uncommon, of a rare, and of an epic. Because right now, I think in the game I've had 2 rare fish, I've had a few uncommon fish, and nearly all common fish. I've never even caught an epic yet, and I actually have done a little bit of fishing. I don't know what the values are, but I would like to see them. I mean, people in my guild, one of them has caught 2 epic fish, and I'm struggling to even catch rares. So yeah, I just want to see what the actual values are, and I think there should be some place in game, or even out with the game if they want to give it to me. I can put it up on the wiki, but somewhere that we can see the values. To address the fish themselves though, 7 fish isn't enough. I mean, I've not done that much fishing. I've done, quite a lot in that first week, but since that, not that much. And I'm already super bored of seeing the same fish over and over and over again. Now, in speaking to the developers, this is something they're planning on adding, is more fish. But for me, even a few more fish isn't going to be enough. They need to have at least 20 different varieties of fish to make this feature really feel like every time you throw at that rod, it could be just something completely different. And I also want there to be unique fish that you can only catch in a certain way. But that's, again, another feature I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So now I want to move on to talk about a feature that isn't currently in the game, but it's an idea of mine and a concept that I've seen kind of bouncing around a little bit that I think could be really nice in the game. It's fishing rods. Right now, you only have one fishing rod. Your little guy, he casts out on that one rod. But what if there were more options to upgrade or select different types of rods? So I would like to see there be 5 different rods in the game, and they would be the basic rod, which is the one you currently start with, the bronze rod, the silver rod, a gold rod, and an epic or legendary rod. And in order to gain these other rods, you have to complete challenges. So that could be something as simple as catch 100 fish to upgrade to the next rod. Then when you get to that rod, you're going to have much harder challenges, and so on and so forth. So by the end of it, it is going to be super difficult to get up to that epic rod. But these rods aren't just going to be for show. There is actually going to be some mechanics to them that I think could be really fun. And the first of which is the basic rod. There's not going to be any boost, and it's able to catch the majority of types of fish. If we then move up to the bronze rod, we would see a 5% boost to catching uncommon fish. you would also be able to catch one new unique type of fish that you couldn't previously catch with the basic rod. Once you progress from the bronze rod up to the silver rod, you would see a 10% boost to uncommon fish and a 5% boost to rare fish. This would also give you the one unique fish that you unlocked on the bronze rod, plus an additional unique fish that you can only catch with the silver rod. Moving on through to the gold rod, it's pretty much the exact same concept. When you upgrade to that gold rod, you're now going to see a 15% boost to uncommon fish, we're going to see a 10% boost to rare fish, and we're going to see a 5% boost to epic fish. This is also now going to give you the 2 additional unique fish from previous rods and an additional one, so you're going to be up to 3 unique fish now when you get to the gold rod. Now the final one is going to be the epic or legendary, I haven't quite decided, rod, and that's going to give a massive 20% boost to uncommon fish, a 15% boost to rare fish, and a 10% boost to epic fish. This is also going to unlock every species in the game, so there is nothing that is now limited when you have the epic rod. So in my opinion, this could be a really cool mechanic that people are going to be able to work through and upgrade and, you know, try and complete quests or challenges and different things to try and get these unique rods that are going to give them a little bit of kickback. So to me, it kind of feels a little bit like with decorations and loyalty points. You complete projects with your guild to gain loyalty points. You can then use those loyalty points to upgrade decorations, which then gives you a happiness boost, which helps you in the player tournament. For me, this feels like something fairly similar. You complete projects, quests, whatever you want to call them, with the fishing rod, with the basic one. That's then going to upgrade you to the next tier, so on and so forth, until hopefully once you've played the game for a decent spell of time and you've completed some of these really difficult quests, you're going to finally have that epic rod and you're going to feel like all this effort you've put in is actually, you know, worth it. The development team have given you something that is worth your time and you're getting a nice boost to your fishing and you can catch some pretty unique types of fish. So if you like that idea, I would definitely like to know down in the comments below, but that's not where we're quite finishing because I have lots and lots of other ideas to talk about. So I did mention it earlier, and that is of course the library. Now right now there are 2 sections in the library. We have the production section and the delivery section. But what if we saw a 3rd section added for fishing? This is something I genuinely think is needed in the game, and I have the kind of feeling in the back of my mind that it is something they will add in the future, because there has to be some sort of way of, you know, changing your stats like you can with your production. You can upgrade it, and I feel like for fishing, I don't understand why they wouldn't also add something like this. So I've come up with lots of different things they could add in the library section for fishing, and here's some of them. So the first could be a lure bonus, and this is fairly self-explanatory. You could upgrade it through levels 1 to 5 like with the rest of the library upgrades, and this is going to give you +1 lure every single time with a maximum of 5. This means you would go from 5 lures without any upgrades up to 10 lures if you have fully maxed it out. And 10 lures, like I mentioned at the start, I think would be a really nice way to try and balance out the current situation with lures. What I also think could be added to the library section is a time reduction for the lures, and this would simply reduce the cooldown of the lures by 1 minute for each level with a maximum of 5. But there would be 2 of these, so like with a lot of the production stuff, you've got like lure time reduction 1 and then lure time reduction 2, which is much further on. The second one would also give -1 minute for each level with a maximum of -10. So you could potentially go from having 30-minute lure wait time down to 20 minutes if you've maxed out both of the time reductions. And for me, this is definitely something that could be pretty nice in the game. So we're not going to stop there. I also have an idea to upgrade the inventory, because right now you can only store 5 fish at once in your inventory or cooler or fridge or whatever you want to call it. And for me, that's definitely not enough fish. I would like to see this upgraded, especially if we're going to have more lures added into the game. So, of course, an easy way to do this would be an inventory bonus. So there would be 2 of these once again, the inventory bonus 1 and the inventory bonus 2. Both of them would increase the maximum storage capacity of your inventory by +1 for each level. So this would be a maximum of 5 for the first one, pushing you up to 10, and the second one would also give an additional 5, making you could have 15 capacity in your inventory. Now let's not stop there, because the next one is going to be an XP bonus, and this is for all types of fish. This would increase the XP reward for each fish caught by +5 for each level, with a maximum of 25% boost. So very much like the 25% boost you could potentially get on your XP orders from the marketplace, we could also see an XP boost of 25% for all fish caught. Next up, we have a Sea Silver boost. So I've got written down here Sea Silver boost 1 and Sea Silver bonus 2. This would increase the Sea Silver reward for each fish by +1% for each level. Now 1% might not seem like that much, but with a maximum of 5 for each one of these, so you could go from no upgrades and having 0% boost to having a 10% boost onto the Sea Silver. On the common and uncommon fish, it might not seem like that much, but a 10% boost on rare or even epic fish is going to give you some pretty serious boosts to your Sea Silver. So that's something I think could definitely be added as well. And then of course we have all of the individual fish themselves. So I think there could be bonus 1 and 2 for each types of fish, and this would increase the weight of each type of fish by +1% for each level. So again, for the first boost it would be up to 5% max, and then for the second boost that would push you up to 10% max. So each fish could have a potential weight boost of 10% from the library. And this is all of the ideas I've currently got for the fishing section that could be added in the library. If you guys have got any ideas for specific things that could be upgraded when it comes to fishing in the library, definitely let me know down in the comments, and I could potentially add it to the graphic that you guys can see up on screen. So continuing on with the video, I know this one is starting to get pretty long, but stay tuned because I put a lot of effort into this video and hopefully you guys appreciate it, especially when it comes to the graphics. Next up, let's talk about the fish market. This is boring. It's really boring. You click on it and it's basically just another inventory. You're basically just looking at your inventory again, but rather than releasing the fish or whatever, you've got the option to sell the fish. There is nothing interactive. There is nothing interesting at all about the fish market, and this does need to be addressed. And the way to do this, in my opinion, is to, when you click on it, you actually see somebody. There's somebody there that you're able to sell your fish to, so an NPC basically. So firstly, we need to be able to click on the fish market without going into the fishing boat itself. So we shouldn't have to click on the fishing boat to take it over to the fish market. We should just be able to click on the fish market and instantly be able to sell our fish. We should also be able to zoom in and out, I think, when we're fishing, because right now when I'm doing it on my phone, I actually struggle a little bit. On my iPad and on my computer, it's fine, but on my phone I find the screen's fairly small and I'm actually struggling to fish a little bit, so that's potentially something that could be looked at as well. But continuing on with the fish market itself, I think this could be more interactive if, when you click on the fish market, you are greeted with a fisherman and a stall. So somebody you actually sell your fish to, so an NPC as such. Now there's lots of NPCs in the game currently. You interact with some of them throughout the game, but I think we need to have one when it comes to the fish market. And basically what you're going to be able to do is click on him, you're going to be able to sell him your fish, but he's also going to offer you a fish of the day deal. And this deal would work that every 24 hours there would be a different type of fish, a different species of fish that you are going to get a boost on. This would be a 25% boost to the Sea Silver you are going to get from selling those specific types of fish. And this, I think, would be a really fun way that every day is going to change to a random type of fish. that you can go, you can check in the fish market. Oh, today he's got a 25% boost on flounders. So you go out and you try and catch lots of flounders, so you're going to be able to make more sea silver. But let's not stop there. This NPC in the fish market is also, he's going to have a stall, and he's going to have lots of different items that you're going to be able to buy with your sea silver, because the next topic we're going to be talking about is sea silver rewards. And the current system is bad. It's bad. Oh yeah, I mean, this more than anything is what I have had complaints about, and it desperately needs to be addressed. And one of the best ways to do this is take those 2 mystery boxes, just take them away. Remove them from the game, and we will have the fish market actually sell goods back to you. You're able to buy those goods with sea silver. So this could include things like products, it could also include things like materials, which is hammers, nails, books, whatever, and you could also potentially get some blue or even purple bags from the fish market. These, like the daily deals, stuff like that, would update every however many hours. This could be every 12 hours, maybe even every 24 hours when the fish of the day refreshes as well. And this, I think, would give players just a huge amount more incentive to actually fish, because they're going to be able to pick the rewards they get rather than it being a mystery box, which is a mechanic I'm really not a fan of. And it means, yeah, they're going to try and get the fish of the day to get lots of sea silver to buy these awesome new rewards, and I just think it would make the mechanic overall far better. Okay, so moving away from the fishing rewards and on to an idea that I've seen nearly everyone speak about, but I've put some graphics together for it, and it is a fishing logbook. And this is a way where you can track the fish you have caught and also some other stuff that I have come up with. So on screen right now, you will see how the icon for the fishing logbook, this is one I quickly drafted up from the books that's currently in the game, and the fishing hook, just kind of drafted this up. If you click on this, you'll see it's going to bring up your fishing logbook. Now, very much like the chat, it's going to come in from one side of the screen and it's going to show you 3 different options. This is what I've just come up with. You're going to have the logbook section itself, you're going to have the records section, and you're going to have a statistics or stats section. Now, all of these are fairly self-explanatory, but let's just go into a little bit more detail. The logbook section itself, very much like the guild board over on the guild island, is just going to update every time something different happens. And all you're going to really be able to do here is fish, and you guys will see in my logbook, it's going to record the date and the time of when I caught the fish, the type of fish, what rarity it was. It's also going to record the weight and how much sea silver I'm going to be able to sell that fish for. And this, I think, is going to be a really fun way, especially if you catch, say, a rare or an epic fish, that if you accidentally sell it, you can go back and you can screenshot it and show it off to your friends. Hey, look, I managed to catch this. But if you want more ways to show off to your friends, we can move on over to the next section, which is going to be the records section. And in here, you're going to have all of the different types of fish listed, and you're going to be able to see the largest and the smallest of each one of those fish that you have caught. So this is a great way to try and compete with your friends. Say, look, I've caught the biggest or the smallest flounder and you haven't managed to compete with me yet. So it's a good way to potentially bring a little bit more competitiveness into guilds or amongst friends, stuff like that. And I think a record section in the logbook would definitely be worth it. And the final one is going to be a statistics one. And this is just some general stats on fishing itself. So you guys will see some of the stats that I've just listed here. These were ones that I came up with just out of my head. It could be total fish caught. You could have time spent fishing. So this is actually when you're in the boat. Total sea silver earned. So this is the amount you sold all of your fish for. Total fish sold. So this is how many fish you've actually sold and released, whatever. Your most caught fish. So the most common type of fish you've caught. For this one, I just put flounder. That was just random. The least caught type of fish, haddock. If you guys watch my fishing stream or my fishing video, you'll know I had a few problems with the haddock. Your best catch streak. We'll get on to talking about catch streaks in a little bit. I also have total fishing errors. So this is basically if you pull the lure out too quickly or if you cast too close to a fish. I think this would be a cool statistic to know. You could then also, if you scroll through, have the total amount of the individual types of fish you've caught. There are loads and loads of different statistics I'm sure you guys can come up with. Again, if you've got any ideas, let me know down in the comments below. I would love to hear them. But this is my idea for the fishing logbook, and I do think this is something that 100% needs to be added to the game, because people are desperately wanting to know what fish they've caught, you know, their records, because when I did that stream, I recorded my stats on which types of fish I was catching, and people were desperate to know how I was doing that. And when I told them I was doing it manually, yeah, they were a little bit disappointed. So hopefully a fishing logbook is something they can add into the game, and hopefully you guys appreciate the graphics that I put together here, because they took a significant amount of time. Okay, so we did just mention it there, and it's fishing streaks. So I want to see a feature added into the game where you can have a catch streak. Now basically this means you have to try and avoid making any errors. So if you throw out your lure, we're all fine, it's gone next to the fish comes over and you reel it in without any problems, you're going to have a catch streak of 1. If you do the same again, a catch streak of 2. However, if you then throw out your lure but it's too close to the fish, this breaks your catch streak. Or if you pull up your rod too quickly before the fish has taken the lure, this also will break your streak. Now, I think this could just be a fun mechanic to get people trying competing against each other, because I definitely know I would try and get the longest catch streak I can, so I can say to my guildmates, I managed to get like a 200 catch streak or something, potentially at every kind of milestone. So maybe every 50 or 100, something like that, you could get some sort of boost or some sort of reward. I think that could be a fun mechanic to add into the game, and it could show off who's actually really good fisherman. I know I would probably suck, because if you guys watched that fishing stream, yeah, I made quite a lot of errors. But a fishing streak, I think, is a pretty harmless and easy thing to add into the game that I think could just bring a little bit more competitiveness again. Okay, so we're getting to the end of the video, but I've still got a couple other things to talk about. The first of which is something that's been requested and in my opinion is really, really obvious, and it's achievements. Achievements in the game, I mean, I think they'll definitely add these at some point. I think they should have added them when they put the fishing mechanic first into the game, but like I said, I think it was maybe a little bit rushed into the game and they hadn't quite got the final finished product there. But achievements is definitely something that I think will be added, and they don't need to be complex. It could be something like Fishing Master, catch 100, 500, 1,500, 5,000, 10,000 fish. So again, it would just go through like 5 different levels, and like all the other achievements, you would get gems at each level. You could potentially also have you could master all the different rarities of fish. So you could have like catch a certain amount of common, uncommon, rare, or epic fish, and you could have achievements for that. You could also go further and have achievements for individual species of fish. There is loads of different ways you could add achievements into the game, and I don't think we need to go too deep into this, because for me it's really obvious, and I'm sure the team can come up with some pretty nice ideas. And the final one that is just a little bit of fun and something I think could be nice to see in the game is fishing cosmetics. Now right now in the game you can't change anything about the fishing, but of course, speaking about my fishing rods earlier, I would like to see those wouldn't just be cosmetics, those would also have a different impact, but you of course would be able to see the difference between the basic bronze, silver, gold, and whatever comes after that rods. You would be able to see him actually holding those different types of rods. But I would also like to see cosmetics for the fish market itself, potentially changing the colour or the look or the skin on the boat. We also could have changes to the fisherman, you know, what colour outfit he's wearing, what outfit he's wearing, and then you could go even further and have changes to the boat itself. Have the fisherman driving different types of boats or different colours of boats, different stuff like that. I think could be fun just to add some skins and cosmetics onto the fishing side of the game. And again, this is potentially something that could be added to the fish market. Every day he's going to offer you one different type of cosmetic that you're able to buy with a significant amount of sea silver. I don't want this to be really easy to get. I want it to be something that if you have a load of sea silver, you're able to buy like this really super rare type of skin or cosmetic that you can show off. And that means when people come to visit your islands, if they zoom in on the fish market or your fisherman in his boat, they're going to see, oh man, they must have got like 100,000 using sea silver in order to get this. That's really cool, but I don't think the cosmetics themselves should have any impact on the actual fishing. I think the fishing rods should, but we of course spoke about that earlier. But I think this could be just a fun visual change that could make the game a little bit better. But that is everything that I have for this video. It was probably one of the longest ones I've sat down and recorded in a while, and hopefully you guys appreciated it. This Let's Talk series is something I'm planning on doing quite a lot in the future, and if it's something you enjoyed, I would definitely appreciate it if you leave a like down below and comment if you have an idea, or if you agree with my ideas, or if you disagree. I just want to know your thoughts and feelings on fishing currently in the game. Also, if you do want to see some of these features, don't forget to pester the community manager and the devs and say, hey, this idea or concept that Alden came up with, it's really cool, I'd like to see that in the game. And you can always link them this video and say, watch this video, because yeah, I do think they could take a few things from this video and implement them in the game, and I genuinely would love to see that. I also want to just say thank you. I've had loads and loads of nice comments recently just saying, you know, thanking me for being the voice of the community and putting all this effort in. And I just want to say thank you for watching my videos. It does mean a lot. It's really, you know, it's nice to see the numbers actually going up and the community growing around my videos. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy it. I hope you guys are looking forward to the next episode of Let's Talk, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.